Two conference final games are in the books, and both of them went to overtime. We got game 2 of the Western Conference Finals tonight. The Oklahoma City Thunder, do or die. They're a 6.5-point favorite. The total sits at 216.5. The Spurs won game 1 by a score of 122 to 115 in double overtime. 41 points and 24 rebounds for Wembanyama. He logged 49 minutes. The Spurs shot 43% from the field, 30% from beyond the arc, and they were 29 free throw attempts to 19 free throw attempts for Oklahoma City. We did have San Antonio in game 1. We had them for the first half. We talked about the rest versus rust. We had the first half spread plus 3.5. We also had a series handicap bet on the Spurs plus 1.5 for the series handicap. That bet is pending. We talked about the regular season series. The Spurs won the regular season series 4-1. Now, one of those games, Oklahoma City rested their starters, so you can sort of disregard the results there. But really, you look at the regular season series, and it was quite clear that the Spurs were owning them. They had their number. And, you know, you look at Minnesota and Denver in the first round, and you could see that Minnesota posed some matchup problems for the Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets, probably the better team against most teams, but when it comes to Minnesota, they don't match up well against the Timberwolves, and that might be the case here. I said that before the series started. It certainly appeared to be the case in game 1. The matchup issues continued. We kind of nailed the rest versus rust. The Spurs were up 51-44 at halftime. And that sort of sets up the Spurs, though, for a tough spot here. They're up 1-0 in the series. But because De'Aaron Fox did not play in game 1, their starters logged a lot of minutes. Wembanyama, 49 minutes. Vassell, 51 minutes. Stephen Castle, 49 minutes. Harper, 47 minutes. And Champagny, 44 minutes. Fox is a game-time decision for tonight's game. 50-50, tough call if he's going to play or not. It will be huge if he can play. If he can't play, I bet you that the Spurs bench players are going to have to see a few more minutes here in game 2. San Antonio, they get it done on the road, 13-2 straight up in their last 15 road games. The Spurs are 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 overall. The Spurs are 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. And the under is 6-1 in the last 7 head-to-head meetings in Oklahoma City. We're going to talk about the Thunder. Before we do, let me tell you about a few promotions we have available here at Wager Talk for the summer. And you guys have heard me talk about this one. It's still available. You got to grab it while you can. $999 gets you every single pick in every single sport for 365 days. Absolutely the best value. You will not find my picks for any cheaper, or anybody else's picks for any cheaper, mind you. And this is the only way you really want to pay for picks, because you get the price per pick down to less than $1 per game. That sets you up for success. And I do realize this is for serious bettors only. If you're not, serious about betting on sports, and you're not serious about paying for information, then you're a casual bettor. Yeah, buy individual picks at $25, $35 a piece. But the more you do that and the more that adds up, the better this promotion actually looks. And if you ask yourself, what have I been doing for the last 365 days? Well, just in the NBA alone, hitting 72% with my NBA sides the last 365 days. For those of you who don't follow me on Twitter, you should be following me on Twitter at Jesse Schule. Check out the pinned tweet. You can see a bit about my history of dominating in the NBA playoffs. And, I've been getting a few comments the last few days. I do promote the $999 package because it is the absolute best way to pay for picks. And a few guys, not everybody's pleased with it. Some people can't afford $999, and there's no issues there. There is no purchase necessary. These videos are free to watch. So if you're like Jack here and you can't afford to buy the picks, no hard feelings. You're more than welcome to tune in just for the free picks and the videos. And if you're opposed to buying picks, it's no sweat off my back. Just don't ask me to do the work and provide you with the picks free of charge for 365 days, every pick I put out in every sport, because, if you're not willing to pay, you're not going to get the picks. It's that simple. Let's get back into the video and talk about the Oklahoma City Thunder. They shot 41% from the field in game one, 38% from three-point range. SGA just 24 points on 7 of 23 from the field, 2 of 7 from beyond the arc, scored 8 of his points at the free throw line. If he wasn't getting to the free throw line, he wasn't scoring at all. He played 51 minutes. Alex Caruso led the team in scoring with 31 points, 11 of 19 from the field, 8 of 14 from beyond the arc. So Caruso was feeling it in game one. And he played 32 minutes off the bench. The issue there is if Caruso's your best player, you're probably in trouble. So all the props to Alex Caruso, but they need SGA to be their best player if they want to compete in this series. Chet Holmgren, 8 points, 2 of 7 in 41 minutes. Isaiah Hartenstein, very ineffective. He just was on the court for 12 minutes, scored just 2 points, both those points coming at the free throw line. And this comes back to the matchup issue and the fact that, the Spurs dominated the series in the regular season. They were pretty dominant in game one, despite the fact that it went to double overtime. Now they've wrestled away home court advantage. And you really have to wonder, is San Antonio just the better team? And if the answer's clear to me, the answer was clear before the series started, and that opinion has been solidified by the results of game one. However, it is a must-win game for Oklahoma City. They cannot afford to go down 0-2. So situationally, spot-wise, that certainly favors the Oklahoma City Thunder. And the fact that the OKC's bench outscored the Spurs bench 50-13 in game one, the fact that the Spurs starters all played close to 50 minutes in that game, the depth could help the home team here. I definitely think it's a spot where you want to look toward the home team to even the series. I think Oklahoma City does probably win this game, but I just don't see any value with Oklahoma City minus 6.5. Like I said, I do believe that the Spurs are the better team. You're going to lay 6.5 with a team that, has consistently been beaten by the Spurs all season long. And, you could look at it and say, well, the regular season series doesn't really mean that much. But if you look at some of the spots, let's talk about back in December 23rd, Oklahoma City loses by 20 points at San Antonio. And then on Christmas Day, just 2 days later, a revenge game at home for the Thunder, and they lose by 17 or 15 points in that game. So some really key spots. There was an NBA Cup semifinal game as well. And yeah, Oklahoma City was not able to compete against the San Antonio team. I'm going to say if you like the Oklahoma City Thunder, I would say bet them for the first quarter, first half. I think they need to come out, make a statement early. Like I said, I think they probably do even the series here. I just don't see any value in the spread betting Oklahoma City. My picks for this game are going to be Oklahoma City's team total for the first half, under 57.5. They scored 44 in the first half of game one. Game one was trending under before the overtime. Both these teams elite defensively. I think this game will be played at a slow pace. Both teams will be strong defensively. You look at the shooting percentages in game one. Neither team really shooting out the lights. In addition to that, I like the Spurs on the series handicap. They have home court advantage. If this series turns into home team wins, go back tied to San Antonio, tied 1 game apiece. Spurs just win their home games and they win it in 6. So Spurs minus 1.5 plus a bunch of money. Best line you can find. That is how I recommend playing the series handicap. So Spurs series handicap, Thunder team total under for the first half. If you like this video, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. You got anything to say to me, as long as you're not complaining about wanting my picks and not wanting to pay for them, hit me up in the comments below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can.